Hello everyone. So I'm late to the party on this, but I'm sure you've seen the new X feature on Twitter, which I always look forward to. This Twitter, I don't like using the word X. And it's a good feature, and I think everybody can agree in that you can see what part of the world the person that you're following or the account holder is from. Take for example, my account says Ireland, and it wouldn't say anything else. Let's be fair. So it shows them in Ireland, and I'm tweeting from Ireland, etc. And that's what it should show, really, because there's been a lot of incidents over the years. Not even just speaking of Ireland's behalf, across the world. I've seen in the United States, particularly, people claiming to be American citizens voting for Donald Trump, or even voting for Joe Biden in some cases, or Kamala Harris, etc. I've seen different things like that, and the accounts are in Africa. They have no right to vote at all in any election, but they say they voted for this and that, and they've done this and they've done that, and they're proud to be an American, they're proud to be Irish, they're proud to be this, but they're in Africa, or they're in Asia, they're on the other side of the world, and there's literally Irish accounts tweeting about Ireland 24/7, and they're from Argentina, and mainly accounts in the left. We see Sinn Féin that's based in the United Kingdom too, something for the laughs, but it is insane, really, too, the influence some of these accounts can have. Because I've seen so many people, too, deleting their accounts because they've been found out. And there's a lot of accounts, particularly from India, particularly in the United States. Some Irish accounts are based in India. And they try and sway public opinion now, mainly for their own personal goals. What I mean by that is not a kind of organised campaign. In some cases, probably is. There's an organised campaign to try and influence the Irish public in terms of different things, or even the United States or in other countries. But mainly it's obviously United States accounts, pretty much. We see loads of them from India, etc. So they claim to be American patriots and stuff, and they're from India. And not even that, other places, but yeah, it's quite insane, and it's a good feature too, because it shows you who is in the country, etc. Now, I'm not saying that people from outside other countries don't have a say in other people's affairs, etc. But mainly it's up to people in their own country to worry about their own country, in my opinion. But of course, other people can have, that's freedom of speech, you're entitled to their opinion on different countries, etc. That's what democracy is. But it's important too, because I've seen many people over the years claiming to be Irish, claiming to pay taxes, claiming to work all every day, every night in Ireland, pay their taxes, raise a family, and they would say, "Oh, how dreadful the situation is in Ireland, etc., and how everything's bad and all this." And at the same time, they'd be taking money from Twitter for monetizing it, and they're from Africa, and they don't have they couldn't care less about Ireland. Um, and it's something insane. It really, really is when you really think. But it's all for profit. Let's be fair. It is pretty much all for profit. It's all kind of wage. Is a lot of it's wage bait too in a lot of cases, but a lot of it's trying to generally mislead people into believing they're such and such and such and such. And it's not right. It isn't right to mislead people, like to deliberately mislead people when you deliberately. It's all right if you didn't mean to, or it was a mistake or something like that. If you made a post that was a mistake or something that it wasn't truthful, etc., but you didn't know. But these people deliberately have said it hundreds of times. I've seen many posts. We could stay here all night going through posts of people saying, "Oh, I'm Irish," and in other countries, Morocco and different parts. It's insane when you think about it. But even just speaking in a general term, like in the United States, Homeland Security is based in some country in the Middle East. We're not going into that detail, but yeah, it's quite suspicious. But suspiciously enough, all the accounts with government ticks, when we're quite, can't see where they're based now. For some reason, it's very suspicious. But yeah, it's all insane. But it is insane. But it just shows you, and I think it's a good feature. And I do think social media platforms like even YouTube take this. I do think it's useful for YouTube that people know where the accounts are based, even if they're AI slop or whatever. I do think it's important that people know that take for example, I'm here. Like there's no doubt about it. I'm in Ireland. You can see me around Ireland. It's not we're not around Ireland, but in Cavan and stuff. You can hear my accent straight away too. I'm from Cavan pretty much. I mean as Cavan people, very mean. Wouldn't give you tuppence. That's a clear indication, even though the picture behind me is a bit misleading in terms of that. But yeah, we'll make an exception for that. But yeah, I outed myself there, I think. But yeah, in all seriousness, I do think it's necessary for YouTube and other companies, Facebook and other companies' Discord and stuff, to show where other users are based. I'm not saying to show that like people are using the argument just to get into this argument as opposed to this other side, because I've seen people saying this is not right, you shouldn't show people where they are. But it's different if they showed your actual address, like your street number, where you live. But in general, like Ireland, saying that you're living in Ireland or you're treating from Ireland, Ireland's a big country. It is a big country. There's many counties, many towns, many villages. You could be anywhere on the island of Ireland. How are you supposed to find? But just saying you're in Ireland, like the thing saying that you're just in Ireland. How are you supposed to find? I've seen people literally say that from Malaysia. They're claiming to be doxxed because they're from Malaysia, etc. But at the same time, they're not given a street address, and I don't suggest that for a moment because it would just be used and abused many times over. But I'm just saying the generality. What I mean to say, if you're in the United Kingdom, if you're in London, or if you're in Birmingham, God bless you. But if you're in Edinburgh or anything like that, you should say, yeah, you're in London, you're in the United Kingdom. Or if you're in, say, for example, Texas, you're in the United States of America. It's just very general. It doesn't have to say the street number where your apartment is, etc. So I don't agree with that because it doesn't say specifically where you are. You could go through the whole country trying to find one person, but you'll never find them. You get what I'm saying? It's different if it's such a small country like Morocco, or like San Marino, or Algeria, and Ireland, or Luxembourg even. If it's a small country like that, maybe fair enough because it's such a small country. There's so little people. You could find easily enough the Vatican, take for example, because they're such small countries. But apart from that, it's not really, in my opinion. I don't agree with that argument. But I do think it should be rolled out to more platforms because it is manipulating people in a lot of cases. And misleading people too in a way. And it's profiteering off a genuine discussion too in terms of, because there's couch take for example in Ireland that were talking about different things. And they're based in the United States, they're based in other countries, not even the United States and Argentina and other places. And they're talking about things that happened in this country and reforms that need to be committed, etc. Or reforms that need to be done, or other stuff, other agendas on the Irish people's problems, and adding to the conversation and claiming to be Irish. You see how I'm going. When a lot of people do that, it kind of turns the discussion on its head. It doesn't give legitimacy, if that makes any sense. Even though people, even from people from Argentina, are entitled to say what they believe about the Irish government, it's not. I'm not arguing that people from other countries shouldn't have an opinion on other countries. No, I'm not arguing that at all. Of course not. But I'm just saying, if you're claiming to be in Ireland, you're living in Ireland, paying tax, etc. It's different if you say, I'm from Argentina, but I don't agree with the certain actions of the Irish government. That's fair enough. That's totally understandable. But if you're claiming to be in Ireland, like an Irish person, you get what I'm saying. It's not that I have an issue with people from Argentina, saying I don't agree with the Irish government's opinion on this or that or the other. That's fair enough. That's democracy. That's freedom. But claiming to be an Irish and living in Argentina while misleading people, it's a bit misleading. But anyway, let me know what you think. Subscribe for more and bye.